Credibility is won or earned by the way you go about your things, the way you do your things.
On the 12th May 2023, Abeiku Santana was dragged all over the country once again as a hypocrite for seemingly defending two thieves on a national radio station.
We are with chicken wings, 20 cartons, 1 year jail on 5 years.
And interestingly, 10 months before this incident, Anod Asamoah had this to say about Abeiku Santana.
Sometimes I think that on my hypocritical side, they show too much. And when it comes to certain issues, he becomes the biggest fanfula ever in industry. Check his record. Check his record on OKFM. Everybody can go and check.
Therefore, today we are checking the records. Hi, I'm Chronica, and I tell amazing stories about both interesting and controversial personalities in Ghana. And now, to dig deep into the records, we first have to check a brief background history of Abeiku Santana. As an avid radio listener, Mr. James Benjamin Aggreys made the decision to name his firstborn son after his favorite GBC radio presenter, Gilbert Aggreys. Therefore, the child was named Gilbert Abieku Aggreys. As you already know, in a typical Ghanaian home, if the mother is a trader, then the children will often help with the trading activities after school hours or during vacation periods. And many a times, when a boy child is seen helping their mother sell foodstuffs, the boy is often tagged as a good, cool boy. However, even though Gilbert helped her mother to sell
from plantain to cassava to buffruit to bread to provisions to electrical appliances,
yet he was not actually a cool, good boy. In fact,
I was a bad boy. I was always, holding knife on me.
Abeiku was not an abanoma, but he did more abanoma things than any abanoma could even think to. Abanoma. Yeah, abanoma. For example, his father bought him a bike, and one day, when his best friend carelessly lost the bike, this is what happened.
It turned to a fight, and I stabbed him. The stabbing was quite gruesome, and I was arrested. They said, how come a young guy, I was, I think, 18 years by then, could do such, a heinous crime? It could have ended the guy's life. When I went to cells, it was dark in the room. You don't see anywhere. There are just some small window that you can see daylight. So if you want ventilation, you just have to come close to that window and you can, inhale the fresh air. So my mom, contacted some men of God, bishops, to go and plead, for clemency for me. And I think I was released. My dad wanted me to be punished though.
Yeah.
Growing up, just like his father, Abeiku also became an avid radio listener, as well as developed a strong passion and curiosity to understand how the radio broadcasting works. Luckily, when Mr. James Benjamin Aggreys was transferred to Accra in the late 80s, he came along with his son, Gilbert Abieku Aggreys, to stay at Asalam Down. And this became a huge advantage for Abeiku to feed his curiosity concerning radio in the years that followed. Gilbert and his new friends will often go on excursion visit to the Joy FM studios.
I wanted to have a look at the studio of Joy FM. You can't go to the studio. The studio was prohibited to non-guests. So you have to wait after the transmission is over. And sometimes I'll wait at the front desk and mosquitoes will bite me through. You remember, they had a lot of mosquitoes, at the time. So when the broadcast is over, the transmission is over, I have the opportunity to go and see the studio and ask, what is this? What is that? What is that?
And you would actually wait for that?
Yes, I'll wait for that. Me and my friend called Nana Kofi at Humpty Dumpty.
Abeiku grew up with a passion and determination to become a radio presenter. But back in the days, you had to have a certain
slick, smooth kind of voice with some British the B accent vibe before you could get opportunity to be on radio.
However, Abeiku had that kind of local street vibe. Nevertheless, Gilbert did not give up on his radio dreams. And so, after his national service, he got the opportunity to work behind the scenes as production assistant shortly at GBC and then Vibe FM. All this while, whenever Abeiku is alone in his room, he will imagine himself as a presenter on air and rehearse. Things didn't really go well at Vibe FM for him. So come 1997, as soon as he heard that a new FM station, Radio Z, was being opened at Koforidua, where he was born, he quickly applied for a job there.
So my first time on air, I was giving music coupons to, I had meditated and I flew like something. Hello, good evening. You are listening to Radio Z 105.1. My name is Gilbert Abieku Aggreys. You can call me MC Richest or Akasanoma. I have my first coupon signed by blah blah blah. I said, wow, the guy flows. Hey man, tomorrow you're not doing the show, you're going to do the late evening drive.
Wow.
After 3 months, they brought me to mid-morning. After 6 months, morning show, and the rest is history.
Abeiku became the assistant programs manager at Radio Z before he got poached to Mercury Radio in Kumasi, where he also rose to the position of deputy programs manager before once again moving to Ash FM, which is also in Kumasi, to become their drive time host. Even though Abeiku was brought up in a very modest home, he however had a special connection with the street ghetto life.
I was sleeping there, I was sleeping at the pubs, but I was still working on the radio. I was cool. Oh, no, you people didn't know. Nobody knew. That's why in the evening you find me on the street of Bantama. I'll sit there, get my Nemo. I'll be at Nemo Sport or S Bar, get my drink. And those days I used to smoke, and I get my fag. I was there and I chilled, and I'll play my snooker.
Then came 2001. When the CEO of multimedia group Kwesi Chum was setting up Adom FM to compete with Peace 104.3, he approached Abeiku Santana with an offer to come and work with multimedia. Santana would also put across his demands. Kwesi Chum readily accepted and paid him a huge sum of money as a poaching token. The deal was finalized and the starting date was scheduled. And when the day finally came, Abeiku did not show up. A week passed, no show. A month later, and still not even his shadow has showed up at multimedia. And when they call his phone too,
the number you are trying to call is currently not reachable. Please try again later.
So they followed up at Ash FM and they were told that Abeiku Santana has resigned a long time ago.
Sweetheart, when I got the money, I absconded to Europe. Yeah.
But why are you like this?
When I took the money, I went to Europe. Look, Masa, I won't go see abroad. So I went to Switzerland.
Even though the Switzerland embassy gave him only 2 weeks of stay, when he landed, he told himself that
I'm not coming to Ghana again.
Fortunately or unfortunately, life in Abrochire did not go that well for him as he had envisioned. So he returned to Ghana in 2002 and eventually went to Multimedia Broadcasting Group to finally assume his job as a radio presenter on Adom FM. Abeiku Santana became the host of the drive time show Ofie Kwanso on Adom FM and later rose through the ranks at Multimedia to become music programs manager and event promotion coordinator. But as they say, you can take a man out of the street, but you cannot take the street out of a man. So after 9 years of working with Multimedia, Santana will prove that you cannot also take the abnormal characteristics out of an Abeiku. He proved this in October 2010 when he had to take his annual leave. He booked a flight for China, and when he got to the Kotoka International Airport, he signed a letter and gave to his friend Fennec Ochre to deliver to the CEO of Multimedia on his behalf. And it was a resignation letter. So apparently Abeiku had made up his mind to quit the job and didn't want to give his boss the chance to try to convince him to stay. Few weeks later, Abeiku Santana was heard hosting the drive time show Ekwansu Jojo on OKFM, which is part of the Despite Media, the main competitor of Multimedia Broadcast Group. Abeiku Santana has become obviously one of the most popular and successful media personalities in the history of Ghana. But unknown to many Ghanaians, Abeiku is also one of the richest media personalities. He owns an enviable list of properties scattered across the country. He's also the owner of Base Lodge Hotel, OFM, Kaya Tours and many other businesses. Through his various business endeavors, Abeiku has had all these brands as clients and partners one way or the other. He has also landed brand ambassador deals to help promote these big companies in Ghana. And not only that, Abeiku has also helped promote many small businesses, including Mab Hair Cream, which is today's video sponsors. So take off your hat, because with Mab Hair Cream you have hair so thick it will make Kojo Sheldon jealous. You will be the reigning king of the hair jungle even if you are headless.
Go and sit down. I'm sick and tired of this.
But wait, there is more. Not only will Mab Hair Cream make your hair grow taller than Ajwa Smart, but they are also giving you the opportunity to make money if you will become their distributor or sales agent in your area. Now, back to the story. Abeiku's success could not have come without controversies and, as some would put it, hypocrisy. Therefore, fasten your seatbelt as we take up the challenge of checking the records as mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, if you are wondering why Arnold Asamoah-Bedu said that, then here you go.
Shatawale are releasing your more DJs, entertainment pundits. Shatawale are releasing your. I know the amount count. No more. I can't look at Krabidia. No more the entertainment topic discussion.
But was Abeiku Santana factually right on that statement? Well, we shall look past that. We will not even go into it. We leave that for Arnold, right?
Santana is wrong
On this score?
on this very score. See, well, you are in this industry. On God by, and how many DJs did not play that song?
They are still playing.
They're still playing. How many pundits did not pass commentary on that song? Me inclusive. If you make me pass the commentary, me hear me push and then blew it.
And for the records, you are the one for the first time.
Good.
Because of comment be
Yeah, on God no so.
However, there are some musicians who have openly put it on records that Abeiku Santana refused to play their songs for various reasons. According to Lucky Mensah, Abeiku took money before playing many of his songs. And Slim Basta also had this to say.
Now, my enemy radio soon. Now you meet a presenter who is selfish, who is hypocrite. What you say a new potential, but I say member, you have to pay me before. And I can mention names, that Abeiku Santana and Kona. Then there's problem.
And according to Miss Bell,
I remember when I did Lege and I am manager. Abeiku Santana OG 800 Ghana cedis those time internet to finding when I release my song Lege. You will know the dates. And then you will know how much 800 cedis back then is worth. Or G 800, not 1,000 or G. Now you answer your con, if you say I knew my promote radio. So we didn't take money. He wanted 1,000. 800 near boy and one manager and I and your demon.
Miss Bell will go on to reveal other stuff such as
Abeiku try say or the no but for people to see so no na wabo wana bibi na se wan ya na wutim na mwa ene me pacho underground obessewo obeka nsem ani ho e dey discourage people who can support you.
And for those of you who may not know why Miss Bell made all these revelations, well, it all started when Abeiku interviewed this new artist called Chief One and asked him to name one musician he would love to feature or work with.
For now, I think it's Miss Bell.
Huh?
Miss Bell, I want to feature Miss Bell. That's all.
Miss Bell?
Yeah.
Former artist Miss Bell.
Now, imagine for a second if Chief One had responded to Abeiku's rhetoric with something like, oh yeah, she's a former artist. Imagine what would have happened. Obviously, a hatred between Miss Bell and Chief One. Many social media users have blasted Abeiku on several occasions as someone who intentionally asks diabolic questions just to stir up conflict and hatred among Ghanaian personalities. Miss Bell again confirmed this assertion in her rant.
Wako interview na muni na discuss behind the say since me mpese me di nipa ho nkomo me mpese me ka nipa we asem waji atomo wa ba bet na show no so na live no wa sheda dey push pian pe be kan nyama e be hye webufu e be gu ho fin na wa ka bi. That's how he is. Unya pie ya na onu asama bloggers atro na ye dey asraw na ye didi watem na nani agi na wo ye nipa ben bonsam kra anya sa.
And going back a few months earlier, when Kojo Sheldon got the chance, he confronted Abeiku about it, and Santana had this to say.
Abeiku, Sarkodie came to your studio to highlight on his album. Yeah. What has Kojo Sheldon got to do with the album?
And yet only the album.
No, he came there purposely for the album.
Yes, and I'm saying and yet only album.
What was my relevance in the whole conversation?
Okay, so that wasn't a PR. When it's a PR is a paid interview. It's a paid public information.
No, Abeiku, the question is, what was my relevance?
No.
Emotional, damn it.
When me the teacher Kojo get issue, no, what did you do? Yeah. Oh, Sheldon, come. Teacher Kojo is not in the studio. Me draw any teacher Kojo better now.
Oh, yeah, you be prepared, and you're with the but
and you're fine. Yeah, I'm nyai.
But the obinim, any of Pambo, yes, no bianye be that. Almost commercial.
So any aje.
Na many haji say.
But me be around Kojo Sheldon in his wife. Yes, because me don't better.
Me more be.
No,
na me mashe.
See, me say Abeiku, what Abeiku they do the what? This man is a bad man.
However, all this would almost be nothing compared to what Abeiku Santana did back in 2018. In August 2018, Abeiku interviewed Jocelyn Dumas for the Atu show, and when the teaser video for the interview was released, the video depicted Jocelyn Dumas admitting that she dated John Dumelo for 2 years and that was the worst mistake of her life. And a few hours after the video went viral, Dumas came out to accuse Abeiku and his team for maliciously editing the video in a way to twist her words. Therefore, UTV was challenged to release the raw unedited footage, and lo and behold, when the raw footage was released, Dumas was right. She did not say that. But the irony of the story is that barely 2 months after UTV apologized to Jocelyn Dumas after Abeiku's careless clout goblin shit show teaser, Santana instigated the arrest of Ohima Kandi, who is the owner of GHsplash.com, for using a clickbait title for a news article about Kojo Kansa Lewin, in which a certain man falsely claimed that Lewin had knocked him down with his car. Yes, you heard that right. Abeiku caused the arrest of a blogger for using a clickbait title. Now, do the comparison yourself between Abeiku twisting Jocelyn Dumas' interview video and Ohima Kandi using a clickbait title for a Lewin news article. Who deserves to be arrested? Nevertheless, in addition to calling the police, Abeiku went a step further to also bring the UTV cameras to record while the police put handcuffs on Kandi's wrist and then again proceeded to show it on national television. This would lead to the Director General of the Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, ACP David Senanu, coming out to condemn the embarrassing arrest of the blogger. In an interview with Andy Dusty, ACP David said, and I quote, "There was no fear and panic with regards to the Lewin news. So I'm surprised the police was involved. The action of the police was wrong." Okay guys, let me make it clear. Publishing fake news about people is still an offense, a civil offense. So the right way is to sue the person for defamation, which does not involve police arrest. Just so you know, the records that I've gathered are so comprehensive that I could make a 4-hour long video out of them. But since we are now talking of police, arrest and offenses, let's skip fast forward to May 2023 for the Pizza Man issue. Once again, for those of you who did not follow the news, 2 workers of the Ghanaian-owned Pizza Man company, Seydou Karim and Rashid Abdallah, were found guilty of stealing about 20 cartons of chicken wings and 2 gallons of cooking oil from the restaurant warehouse in Kumasi. Now, following the sentencing of Seydou and Rashid to 5 years each in prison for their criminal offense, Abeiku Santana came out to openly criticize the CEO on the national radio.
5 years, 5 years. So we are akoko rings, akoko nan wings. Ra one yard dear, 1 yard dear, 1 yard dear. And make it only you from Casa. So we are dear motivational dear.
I hate to say this again, but then again, you can do the comparison again between Abeiku Santana causing the arrest of a blogger over a civil case and the Pizza Man CEO causing the arrest of 2 thieves over a criminal case. I think as for the remaining of the records, we shall keep them covered until next time.
I apologize to Pizza Man for saying he's not a guy. And I apologize for saying, sir, enka onfantiti ne workers no we no onfantiti envi omo pemu. Sa asem no ameka no mandwen ho.
See you in the next video.